Easter Sunday coming up, it got me thinking. If you have a white minister, black minister, Latino minister, Asian minister, you're in church, have you asked them to ever talk about slavery? Because if you're going to acknowledge these holidays and these givings and how you're going to celebrate, wouldn't it be important that you get a message and a foundation? I had a white minister once tell me that he apologized for slavery, but he wasn't aware of racism and extent that black people go through. And my mental reaction was one of the reasons why I could never go be part of that church or even step in that place again. I don't care what color you are. You cannot possibly call yourself an ordained minister or a priest or what have you and not discuss slavery. And how this ties into Easter or Christmas or anything, because that is rebirth, that is crucifixion, that is also the blood, the sacrifice. So, how do you look at people who come through your congregation, through your doors, no matter what their racial makeup is and background, and not acknowledge the past, not acknowledge the pain and the reality? You want to know why church is the most divided day on Sundays? Why it's the most segregated still, even though people will tell you Jim Crow and they will tell you that separate but equal and all that is behind them. But I ask, has your minister ever looked at someone and said, slavery was part of America? I'm going to have to talk about it. So called good Christians, so called good this, good that. But do they acknowledge it? Do they speak on it? See, for me, if they can't talk about it, they can't be about it, can't walk through those doors, can't watch their service online. Bump that. I'm not going to anybody's services unless they masking, and that's a personal choice. But I'm also not giving them the time of day if they don't acknowledge me as a person for the realities, because I think that it's very important to have a spiritual enlightened conversation. All ministers, no matter what their background, what have you, should be able to get on the pulpit and talk about slavery. If they can't do that, then they're not living the true life. They're living a fraudulent life because they're speaking half truths. And if you're black and you come in their church and they don't properly acknowledge that, they don't see you as full. That goes. That goes without saying. So that's a question I ask. What do you ask of your minister or your priest, especially if you are African descent? And do you get the answers you want? And even if you're not, you see somebody black in those churches and places, would they be going there for a subject? And would that mean that that church in no pew would file out and protest? See, imagine a critical race theory in church. Hmm. And why do people get so silent? Think about it. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. How honest is your church? How honest is when they see people who come in there and do they acknowledge? I'm out.